December 21st, 1991. Crystal, so you decided to come after all. Great. Yes, Whitney, I couldn't go against your argument yesterday that if the company was good enough to give its staff a Christmas dinner and party, the least I could do to show my appreciation is come. The last thing Crystal wanted to do was come, for she had no idea what to expect at a worldly Christmas dinner and party. It was to be her first-hand experience at seeing how the world celebrated the holiday spirit with the spirit of liquor. As the night progressed, Crystal began to relax, as it was kind of fun after all. The dinner was a buffet, so she could pick the foods she wanted to eat without prying eyes asking her why she didn't eat the ham on her plate had it been a served dinner. And the gift exchange game they played was really fun. The way the gift game was played was when a name was called, they got to pick any gift they wanted from the table. Each employee was asked to bring a gift that would be both for a boy or a girl. The chosen gift was immediately opened, and if the unwrapper liked someone else's choice, they could swap their gift for the one they liked better. By the end of the game, no one really would have any idea what gift they were going to take home, and that was what made it so much fun to play. However, after the dinner and gift exchanging were over, the mood of the party shifted, and Crystal began to feel very uncomfortable and wish she hadn't come after all. The drinking became more acute, and the dancing started. Daphne, a girl from another department and who was under the influence of much liquor, asked Crystal to dance because her husband wasn't interested in dancing with her. Crystal was very shocked at this invitation, but could see other girl co-workers dancing together because their husbands were not interested in the sport of dancing either. Their husbands would rather just sit and chat with one another. Crystal declined Daphne's offers as graciously as she could. Crystal's idea of dancing would be to learn how to waltz, and she hoped there would be waltzing during the Kingdom Age. But watching two girls shake at one another to a jungle beat was very unnerving, and Crystal wanted no part of it. Daphne took Crystal's rejection very nonchalantly and joined two other girls already on the dance floor. So a twosome soon became a threesome that shook at one another to the awful jungle beat. Having never attended an affair of this nature, Crystal did not know what protocol dictated as to when it was okay to leave, as no one seemed to be leaving or wanting to leave except herself. Therefore, Crystal did not know what else to do but painfully sit it out, hoping it would end soon. It was like she was in grade 5 again. At the end of that year, her teacher decided to reward the class with a dance on the day before the last day of school. Crystal had been out sick when the teacher had made this announcement, for had she known about the dance, she would have stayed home sick an extra day longer, knowing she would not have missed out on anything important. When she arrived and found out they were to have a dance, she asked the teacher if she could go home, as she was not interested in dancing. The teacher refused to let her go home, so she had to endure that lovely secular music that was not to her liking until school was let out. Her schoolmates thought she was weird and assumed that she would get into it eventually. She did not get into it, but boy was she glad to get out of it as fast as she could as soon as the teacher said she could go home. As Crystal sat there at the office Christmas party, she wasn't sure how to get out of it so as not to make a spectacle of herself. However, since there was no grade 5 teacher handy to say class dismissed, the greatest teacher of all came to lend Crystal a hand, for all of a sudden Crystal heard very distinctly, "Crystal, I said I'd never leave you nor forsake you, but I've got to get out of here." What happened next was hard for Crystal to describe afterwards, but it was like she saw the Lord walk out the door. At least his presence did. However, before he got too far, Crystal said in her mind, "Lord, wait, I'm coming with you." She then proceeded to go out the door too, but in so doing almost knocked into one of her co-workers coming back in. Crystal's sudden exit made the co-worker ask, "Crystal, where are you going?" "I have to leave now." "Why?" "I just have to go home now." The co-worker shrugged her shoulders and went back into the room where the worldly way was still whooping it up. Crystal was so scared that the Lord and she would never get back together that she couldn't take the time to explain to anyone why she had to leave, for she wasn't sure if she fully understood herself what had just taken place. So who would believe her even if she tried to explain? Crystal went home, still not knowing what to make of it all. She just had to talk to someone who would understand what she had just been through. But who would understand? Would Jasper understand? She hadn't noticed he had given her phone number on his letter until December 19th. But when she tried to call him then and again on December 20th, she had been unsuccessful. Should she try again? It wasn't that late. She decided, why not? Ring! "Hello? Are you Jasper White?" "No, I'm Gerald Fox. Is Jasper in?" "No, he's out on a case right now. Could I take a message?" "This is Crystal Matthews calling. What would be a good time to call him when he's not so busy?" "Any time tomorrow, as he's very particular about not working on Sunday." "Okay, thanks. I'll try again tomorrow." "No problem. Goodbye." "Goodbye." Crystal's heart was beating so fast she couldn't believe what she was doing, but she just had to talk to someone. Mr. Robinson was dead, Alexander King wasn't interested in her, and Kelly and Dan would only laugh at her. What would Jasper White think of her experience tonight? Would he laugh at her too?